Okay, Tzorayim Tov, everybody. I just got to see if I'm recording. Yes, I am recording. We began the third chapter of Eshpoich Lefanov Sichi. And we're talking about the virtues of HISBODEDUS, what its virtues are. And yesterday we mentioned how Rabbi Nachman said many times that a person can never really become great without HISBODEDUS, because HISBODEDUS includes everything, is greater than everything. And we mentioned a number of points from Rabbi Nachman's writings about what HISBODEDUS requires and what comes out of HISBODEDUS. So, and how that brings you to a dveikus to Hashem. So we're now on page Ayin Vav. Hopefully we'll finish the chapter today. There we are. Ayin Vav. Dover Nosaf. Dover Nosaf Gilu Rabbeinu HaKadosh b'malos HISBODEDUS shebekoich levatam lo yigzeres ba'olam hu b'sefer sichos ran. Next important point. HISBODEDUS can enable a Jew as the power to nullify and prevent evil decrees, as he writes in the Sichos Hara. Onev Omer. Do you think we could just leave Hashem to think about making decrees of hurting us, God forbid? I guess in the time, in Rabbi Nachman's time, it wasn't easy living in Eastern Europe. There's always decrees. He said, you think we just leave Hashem to make the decrees? We have to call Hashem from his business. We have to, interrupt Hashem from his regularly scheduled programs of justice and bringing bad decrees upon us. We should call him from there, to cast it away. And turn to us. That we want to speak to him, to request to bring us close to Hashem. What does he mean? When a person wants to talk to Hashem, guess what Hashem does when we want to talk to him? Then God says, you know what? I'm in the middle of working through a decree against the Jews. I got to put that on hold because I got a Jew who wants to talk to me. As God's busy, what happens if a real big, important businessman really loves his son? He's in the middle of a huge business deal. And the secretary says, sir, it's your son calling. Well, most often, most parents say, I'm really busy now. Tell him I'll call him back. Okay, if that's correct or not, I'm not going to hear to decide. Could be, the son will be happy to speak to him later. But when a Jew is knocking at the door and a Jew is saying, Hashem, I need to speak to you. Hashem says, stopping the meeting, I have a very important call I have to take. And then what is that? So what does Hashem do? He tosses everything away. And he turns just to that person who wants to speak to him. And to explain his words before Hashem. To request from Hashem. She has rarely discovered that Hashem help me get close to you. So he's asking me to help him get close to him. So if he wants to get close to him, how can I be involved in making decrees? These decrees are not gonna work to get him close to me. So that's what it helps. That's the first statement he's saying. And also the Rabbi brings in Sichos Hara. Shamati Vishmo, said Rabbi Nosson, I heard in his name. There are certainly kosher Jews who don't do HISBODEDUS, who don't do this solitude with Hashem. I'm not exactly sure. I call them a certain name, but whatever. But they're confused. They're famished. Upisam kishvo Mashiach v'yasam. And what's going to happen when suddenly Mashiach calls for them? They're going to be confused, mixed up. You know, we're going to be the ones who do HISBODEDUS. We're going to be like a relaxed person, refreshed, just getting up from a great sleep and refreshed and ready to go. Therefore, our thoughts will be very at rest and will be settled without any confusion. Those who know where they, can you imagine? A guy is thinking of a million things, his business, his this, his that. All of a sudden, they send an announcement in the paper. The Messiah has arrived. The Messiah has arrived. El Al is offering free tickets. Every airline in the world is giving a free ticket to Jew wants to get on a plane. Now, let's be very honest for a minute. Are Jews going to just be running to catch the first plane? Yes or no? No. You know why? How can I leave everything behind? I need some time. First of all, I got to know, is it a really Mashiach? Is it a false Mashiach? No, it's the real thing. It's really, Rav Kanievsky said, this is the Mashiach. Okay, but I got a property. My house is worth $2 million. I just can't sell it like that. People are going to give me pennies. And where am I going to live in Israel? Maybe we can make a pilot trip. Maybe we'll go there so in 3, 4, 5 years so, because we're going to be confused. What am I going to do? I mean, it's Mashiach. It's the real Mashiach. Well, I don't know. How badly do I need Mashiach? I mean, I'm doing pretty good over here. We're just about to do a wedding in a few weeks. I'll go after the wedding, after I pay off the bills. People are going to be confused because they're living a certain life and they're not prepared for Mashiach's bringing them. But us people do HISBODEDUS. And all day long, we're only talking about, we want to be close to you, Hashem. And Hashem says, here's the opportunity. Oh, great. My dream has come true. So no confusion. Unbelievable. That's really true, isn't it? Imagine if the Mashiach comes. First, the Reform and Conservative are not going to come at all. They're not even interested in it. And what does Mashiach mean? It means we're going to keep Shabbos. What? Keep kosher. What? Serve one God. What? I don't even believe in God. And then you get the religious Jews. What are you talking about? I like it here. I just finished paying off my house. Let Mashiach be in Israel, and I'll zoom in. Oh, I'll zoom in to the Mashiach. That's good enough. They're going to build the base of me. I'm going to zoom in from the comfort of my home. Because there's too many things going on over here. I can't leave my kids behind. I can't leave my elderly mother behind. I'm going to lose so much money selling my house for next to nothing because every goy knows I have to leave. And in Israel, the price is going to shoot up like crazy. I'm only going to get like a little place to live in. I don't know if I want that. Am I exaggerating? I don't think so. But people who really want to be close to Hashem, they're not confused. Do you understand? It's time to go. You got to be an Eved Hashem no matter what. That's what I'm reading again. I'm rereading the book on the Klausenberger Rebbe. It's in English. The War Years. The greatness of the Klausenberger Rebbe after he lost his wife and all his kids. And he's in the concentration camps. He never lost his wits. He knew what every day of the week was. He knew it was Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni. He knew if it was Rosh Chodesh. He knew if it was Tisha B'Av. He knew it was Rosh Hashanah. He knew it was Pesach. He knew every day in the calendar. And he knew one thing. Every day, what is the will of Hashem for me on this day? And when he gets his one bread ration for the day, he doesn't look at it as, wow, and now, how should I eat it? He says, according to halacha, what's better? in honor of Shabbos, should I delay the breads? What's the best way I can honor Shabbos and Hashem with the little bit of bread I have? And that's going to be the decision how he's going to eat it. And that's in a Holocaust. He's always asking, what does Hashem want from me in this situation? So certainly when Mashiach's going to come, someone like that is going to say, well, obviously Hashem wants me to go to Eretz Yisrael. Yeah, but what about all the accoutrements? I can't just go cold. Why not? Got to be practical. What do you mean practical? Mashiach's here. This is what we're dreaming about. That's how God's going to winnow out the Jews. Believe it or not, as much as you think Jews are going to drop everything and go for Mashiach, nothing doing.
Isn't the temple going to just come down?
What?
The new third temple.
Isn't the third temple going to just come down? Let's say it does. Yeah. And therefore what?
No, I'm just saying we don't do it.
Okay, so now you get an email. You get to see on Zoom, the third temple is coming down from space. And there it is. It's ready to go. And Eliyahu Navi is walking down the streets of the old city. I don't know. There's still Arabs around, I'm afraid. They heard there was an outbreak a few weeks ago of COVID near Yerushalayim. I don't know if Eliyahu's been vaccinated. I don't know if he has a double vaccination. I don't know if we can go. That's what's going to happen. When Mashiach comes, people are going to be confused. What are they confused? I know I'm supposed to want it, but how come I'm not that excited? I'm more excited about, imagine anybody who lives in Milwaukee. If Mashiach would have come last night at about 8 o'clock, they said, can you wait until the game's over and we win the championship? Confused. But now he says, I am as he. But the truth is, we're not going to go wait for Mashiach to be confused. Shagam hayom even today. Lifnei bias Mashiach. Before Mashiach comes. You can see the difference in someone who secludes himself with Hashem and someone who doesn't. You're going to wait for Mashiach to see it. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Bardichev. What did Rabbi Levi Yitzchak call this person who engages in HISBODEDUS? He calls it Yishuv, tranquility of mind, presence of mind. That's the coin. He coins that term. It doesn't mean that that's when he is tranquil. It doesn't only mean that. It doesn't only mean that. When a person does this, he will be a person with presence of mind. Not just at the moment he is reflecting, but anytime. In the middle of the day, he has presence of mind. Someone has a presence of mind. It's totally different. A person's calm, cool, and collected always comes across as a different person. Doesn't get excited, doesn't run, doesn't know what's going to happen. He's going to say, Baruch Hashem. Mashiach came. It's all clear what we have to do. There's no questions. Rabbi also says, you can look at another person and see if he's a person who does HISBODEDUS. Now the Rebbe doesn't say how, but in another sefer he writes, someone who does HISBODEDUS, you could see it's all over his face, the shame he has before Hashem. That he's embarrassed to go before Hashem. The demeanor is totally different. Someone who does this. So that's, again, other additions here. You're able to ward off xeros, bad decrees. You're able to have yishuv adas. Next section, ledibor yesh koach mufla. Speech has an amazing power. And he brings in another piece of Likutei Moharan. Amar. Speech has great power. Kelo Yecholim Lilchosh Al Kenei Sreifa Shalo Tuchal Liros. Because he says you're able to whisper at a gun so that it shouldn't be able to fire. Okay? So, in other words, you see great tzaddikim, they put a gun to his head. So what else is new? I can shoot you. Good. You know, I can, you know, you don't mind if I talk to Hashem right now. In a smoking gun. Rabbi understand. When he's speaking about this, Diber Harbim Hisbodedus, he speaks a lot about Hisbodedus. Verech Ma'odi talks a lot about Sicha Nifla becoming Ushanos. Wondrous speech in so many different ways he says it. V'chiziko sana v'zeres sana ma'od b'zeh. And he strengthened us a lot and encouraged us a lot in this. To increase and strengthen the Hisbodedus and speech between us and Hashem. In other words, you can whisper to Hashem that the gun shouldn't fire. And you know what? And Hashem will answer. You have amazing tzaddikim who they're ready to shoot him with a gun. It just doesn't happen. Incredible stories. You read how the Nazis take a bunch of Jews and line them up in front of the graves, open graves. They're ready to give the word to shoot. And the Klausenberger Rebbe says, we have nothing to worry about. And the last minute, another officer comes from nowhere. He says, what are you guys doing? Call this off. And the officer never hear from him again. How's that possible? Because you know you're close to God. You're close to God. You can even whisper and the gun will not fire. Now, sometimes it will fire too, of course. But the presence of mind. I mean, how would you face a guy with a gun to your head? You'd probably piss in your pants. Literally, if not defecate also. Right? And Tzaddik says, will you put away that toy, please? I could kill you. No. If Hashem wants to kill me, he'll kill me. And if he does, fine. It's a tough thing to have presence of mind with. That's the idea. Okay, let's continue on to the next page. Ayres. Al Hisbodedus ein kol kach lemakatchikim. Once you have Hisbodedus, there's not koach. There's not a lot of strength for the prosecutors. Lukuti Maran, again, very important. Shomati v'sholin yimalos asir. Again, I heard another virtues. All the virtues of Hisbodedus. He talks Shomer Shal Tfilos v'tchinos of Akasha Asturs B'Kvar. Very interesting. We know the regular standard prayers, the standard art scroll prayer. Kvar Yudi Mehem Kol Mechavim. All the terrorists, spiritual terrorists, they know about that. Let's say you're in Europe 200 years ago, and there's one road from your hamlet to the Leipzig Fair. Everyone knows that's the road. You can't go to the Leipzig Fair unless you take the main road. So who's going to be hiding in the bushes there? Consider anybody going to the Leipzig Fair, if he's going, he's got money or he's got merchandise. Anyone leaving, he's got money or merchandise. So who's going to be hiding in the bushes? Terrorists, yeah? And they're going to stick you up. Guess what? There's a road to Shemayim, and the paved road are the standard prayers that we say every day. And the terrorists are there because they know that's the road, right? So everybody knows where the road is. The terrorists lie in ambush. They wait for a moment when you're off guard and they jump you. So what do you do if you're a smart guy? You say, you know what? I'm going to take a road that most people don't take. It's not paved. It will take me longer, but the bandits don't hang out over there because there's not a lot of business. Aha. When you go on a new path, that's not well known. They don't know to be waiting to ambush you there, because who goes through those thorn bushes? So it is the same thing. Whatever you say privately between you and Hashem, that's a new path. That's a different prayer. A person says it from his heart, it's all new. The prosecutors are not there to ambush. Still, but still the Rebbe says you should daven the regular davening too. You always got to daven the regular davening. And yet, guess what? There's a lot of ambushes. A lot of times your mind was stolen from you. And you're thinking about other things or not thinking at all. And your prayer got stolen. You still got to do it. But the HISBODEDUS, they don't know about that path. It's not a very well-tread path. So
Rabbi, that brings to mind a couple of things. First of all, I mean, there is an expression, the road less traveled, acting unconventionally. I guess this is certainly not conventional, what we're talking about.
Yes.
Even for fringe Jews.
Yes.
And the other thing I'm thinking about is Tfilas Haderech. We talk about robbers there, but I guess it's not just the physical robbers as well, right? And so, I mean, a tefillah of talking to Hashem is including being protected from those robbers of our mind, or
yes, for sure, that's all correct. And therefore, now of course that other path is going to take longer, it's going to be harder, it's going to hurt. The thorns will prick into you. You could get a flat tire along the way, but you're not going to get robbed. So it might take you longer to get back from Leipzig, but you're going to come with all the goods. And what do you really want? You want Dveikus Hashem. Okay, what? So this is another benefit. So we're just going through all the benefits over here of the great powers that you have. And now we go to one more. Through prayers of HISBODEDUS, you could break the hard heart, the stony heart, and lift it up to Hashem. And another place, in the Chaye Moran, he brings an interesting analogy. Rabbi Yaakov Yosef. One time, Rabbi Nachman spoke to the Baal Shem Tov's premier student, told us Yaakov Yosef of Polnoi, who wrote the first book on Hasidus. So he spoke with him, Me'inyan Avodas Hashem Kedarka Tamid, about serving Hashem. V'sipra lo moshel, and he told him an analogy. He sends his son, a king sends his son far away to learn wisdom in the academy of smartness. So after 5 years, he gets a degree in smartness. And now he's got a smart son. Okay. So now father wants to get some knowledge. I want to see how smart my son is. Then one day he tells his son, take a really heavy stone, like a millstone. I mean, it's really hard. That's heavy. A normal person cannot pick it up by himself. He says, okay, my smart son, here's the millstone. Take it up to the top floor. Son says, can you give me a few other soldiers to supplement? No, yourself. I want you to get that stone up to the top floor. The kid does his analysis, how much it weighs. He's able to approximate weight times mass times volume and this and that. According to my calculations, this stone is 500 pounds. My calculations say if a person can carry his weight, he's something great. I'm 180 pounds. Really strong, maybe at times a half. My wisdom says it cannot be taken up. V'nitztara ben mode, and the son is very much troubled. Al shev shelo l'malos, he can't do the will of Hashem. So Father says, I thought you were smart. Okay, guys, what's the answer? How do you take the stone up to the top floor? Let's see who's smart. Okay, crickets. How do you get it up? Achigalo Melech, until the king tells him. You think I would tell you to do something that's impossible? Well, to take the stone to the top? Can you do this with your wisdom? Of course not. I didn't mean that. What did I think? Take a very strong hammer, okay, and break it up into small little bits. So now you can take it up. I didn't tell you how to take it up. I wanted it up there. I didn't say it's in one piece. You think you're smart. 5 years of university. Couldn't think out of the box. Kamo ken Hashem yisparach tzivaleinu shenosovenu el kapayim el kel bashamayim. What does Hashem say? Raise our hearts and our hands to Shamayim. Ulivavenu hu levaven. And what do we know about our hearts? Our hearts are a stone, isn't it? Whoever got the kovid ma'od, our hearts are a very heavy stone. We can't raise it to Hashem. Our hearts are into so many other mishagasim. It's such, we're all hard-hearted. That's the Navi says, I will change your heart of stone into fleshy heart. How do you take a person's desires and wantings to go to heaven? Take a hammer, and heaven. Break the stony heart. Then you can raise it up. Now, what is the hammer? What is the sledgehammer that breaks your heart into little stones, guys? It's a tool. What's the hammer? The hammer is your speech. Ad kana mashal, that's the analogy. Vahavein, and understand. Say the words that are really going to smash you. As we said, why don't we want to do this? Because we're going to find out how small we are. We're going to find out that we are the, what do we say? The very popular liar. You're going to smash yourself to bits and see what kind of phony you are. What kind of broken heart. It's a broken heart. A broken heart can raise up Hashem bit by bit by bit. A person with a heavy heart. I mean, that was Lyndon Johnson's favorite line. And my fellow Americans, I say this with a heavy heart, that we must continue fighting Vietnam. Heavy heart. Yeah, boy, that guy had
Very
a
good,
stone.
Rabbi.
That's a real stony heart. Real Russia, Johnson. Anyway, so that, you know, how can he get me to get my heart and send it up to Shemayim? It's interesting when we beat our chest. It's interesting. It's like what symbolically trying to break the heavy heart, chop it down to bits. Look, I did this sin. I did this sin. I did this sin. Man, I'm a broken Jew. Now you take every little piece and bring it up to Shemayim. That's the way to do it. Every little piece and bring it up to Shemayim. And that's how you're able to do that. And that's what the HISBODEDUS does. It breaks the person apart in that way. It's time for one more little piece. When you're misboded, the Shechina is opposite you. He brings another piece from Rabbi Nachman. So he says when a person is misboded, has charata and all these things, I was like, Gama Shechina Kenegdo Mefreshes Lefonav Sichosav Etzar Mechamaso. So guess what? The Shechina itself also opens up and talks about his start to you. Kikol Pagam Pagam, any blemish you've made in your soul, Pagam Asagam, it's also blemished by Hashem, as it were. Hashem feels terrible. Don't we all feel terrible when our kids are sick? It's every sickness. You tell Hashem, you don't think he's thinking about it? Just like we said in Dvarim, as Hashem Emartav Hashem Yercha, just like you announced Hashem is the greatest in the world and you're designated for Hashem, Hashem says, I'm designated for you too, and you're designated for me. And the Shekhinah will give you comfort. It's like the Shekhinah is asking, it wants to fix some things. Will you tell Hashem, I need my broken heart fixed? Hashem says, I know you need your broken heart fixed. And I want to fix your broken heart. But come to me with the broken heart. If you come to me and say, listen, I need help. What do you need help for? I got a broken heart. I need my broken heart to be fixed. Okay. So anyway, so that's another advantage. Hashem is, and that'll come out. Hashem will be engaged like this. Okay, we got to stop it here. Tomorrow, more advantages to HISBODEDUS.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Right.
Have a very breaking day.